Hi, my name's Dee, your Professor of Woo Woo, and welcome to Sunchild Tarot, and welcome to your monthly general readings for November. It's a bulk introduction this time because I get really bored of saying the same thing over and over and over again. So, general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You know, if you want to look at your Saturn, have a look at your Saturn. So if you don't know what all those positions are in your birth chart, there's a link as ever down below to go and get yourself a free birth chart. And as ever, start thinking about this now. I would like you to ask a question prior to me starting the reading. So once this introduction is over, take a moment, think about all of the questions that are around you, focus on one of them, but be aware of all of them because the cards do not have the same sense of priority that you and I do, and therefore they may feel that something else is more important. So, with my readings, there is a past and a present in the spread. If the past and the present do not fit, the reading is not for you. Simple as that. Don't take what resonates, ignore it, move on to your moon sign, your rising sign. In fact, always watch your rising sign, and really, if you've only got time for one of them, watch your rising more than your sun sign. So as ever, general reading rules apply. You know, timing's far from absolute with tarot. Theoretically, I can get energies mixed up as into who's creating that energy. It doesn't happen a lot, but it is possible. So I like to add that. And obviously, I'm a YouTuber. Like, share, subscribe. Definitely subscribe. It really helps. But I'm trying to grow the channel. And on that note, if you caught my live stream from last weekend, well, from Halloween, Samhain, then I aim to be diversifying. I'm going to start between now and Christmas opening a Patreon, an OnlyFans, because why not? BitChute, and what's the other one? Odyssey. They're allegedly a bit of a refuge for the alt-right. Therefore, I think maybe it needs some other voices on there, and I'm as uncomfortable with the censorship on YouTube as they are. But obviously, you know, that doesn't mean please do not fail to subscribe here. Vimeo, I think I'm going to try Vimeo, and obviously I want to be able to devote more time to this. So you tell me what you would like to see from a do you want extended readings? Do you want exclusive content? And as ever, stay tuned to the channel to see what fascinating interviews that I have coming up. Because I've had confirmation this morning that Friday coming up for me, so I'll upload it Saturday or Sunday, I will be introducing John Ostrander, the creator of Suicide Squad. Yes, the 2 Suicide Squad movies. There's some stories he's written way back in the 80s that I want to talk to him about, and it does have a relationship to my general woo-woo theme. Plus, I love comics, so why not? Now, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed so far. If you haven't seen the Samhain live stream, go and have a look. And also, I appeared last Thursday night on D.H. Thorne's live stream. And hopefully I will remember to put that link below. There's a link tree down there so you can get me from, you know, my Tumblr or my Twitter. And there's a Facebook page link for this channel down there where you can approach me for a personal reading if that's what you want to. I mean, you can probably approach me on Tumblr and what have you, but trust me, direct message through Twitter, an email, or the Facebook page is the one that I'm likely to discover the soonest. So is there anything else that I want to add? Right, so this time where are my boxes? I'm going to be using the TV series channel, Tarot. I'm going to be using the Tarot Illuminati, where I can't see it. Oh, here's the box. And this time, you know how I like to clarify with trading cards, I've got hold of some Bleach collectible card game cards. So if you don't know what Bleach is, it's a short anime from Japan when I say short, there's about 360 episodes, and I believe there's a new series coming out. So hopefully that's quite topical. And I'm going to be having oracle cards of, ooh, I just wrecked the desk, Mists of Avalon, the Fallen Angel oracle cards, and the Saints and Mystics oracle. I love these. I really love these. They're so much fun. Is there anything else that I need to say? Yes, general reading. So, if the reading is for you, take the whole lot, all of it. Because knowing my cards, there may be something that you don't really want to hear, and that's probably the bit that you need to pay attention to. However, I am not saying that you should follow me or my cards' advice. What I am saying is that you should think about it and then make a decision, but think about it in the light of what the reading says, because they are supposed to be useful for you. So, like I say, ask your question. I've talked for long enough. Ask your question and let me bring up the cards. Okay, Aries, that new beginning that you've recently had that we see with the Ace of Pentacles here, it didn't exactly work out as you were planning. I feel that you had a new material beginning. Let's put the big camera on. That you committed to, you had to commit to. It was essential that you were part of this team or movement or action. So there's more than just you. And I do feel that in the process of it, you may have sort of, how can I put it? You've done something that compromises yourself somehow. And I don't mean that in a really bad way. You know, it's not like a big thing, but it's like a thing that is like, yeah, that doesn't entirely sit right with me. I don't like the fact that I've been put into this position. So this new beginning, you may have been doing it as a result of trying to protect what is yours, and you've had to turn around and say, okay, yeah, I'm okay with this, but an underlying feeling of, am I really being true to myself doing this? I think so. You had taken on board this new beginning as a way to protect what is yours and what you feel good about. And then pretty much immediately you were left at a point where you go, oh, yeah, I'm not sure I want to do that, but I have to do that because the alternative is worse. Now, that's the point that I'm wanting to focus on. It's not that you've compromised yourself, but the alternative was worse. You needed to find some way of fixing a situation, whether this is, could, I mean, with all those pentacles, could easily be money, or maybe some form of not social standing, professional standing. But you've been left feeling, oh, no, I'm not sure I wanted to do that. So that it's almost like you're at a point now where you go, I can't give up now. I'm nearly there. I've nearly finished. I've seen all the options that are going ahead for me, and I'm not sure that I'm convinced by any of them. So I feel like the whatever you're involved with, you're wanting to come and finish. Now, be very, very careful because things are moving very fast and they are moving with great force. We've got the Eight of Wands on the bottom of the Illuminati deck and the Ace of Wands on the bottom of the TV tarot. And it is to do with your home environment. On the bottom of the Bleach deck, we've got the West Rukon district, which in my head was, I hope I remember this correctly, that was Rukia and Renji's home. You know, so it was the district that Ichigo spent a lot of time in. And so where you are at the moment is that dogged determination to carry on, because you've seen a positive harvest from what you've done, or from what you've achieved or what you've got involved in. So there is a positive harvest, but there's an element of, oh, I, I wanted to say divine providence, but there's also an element of more luck than judgment, which is funny since beneath this, under your current situation, there is a judgment. Now, there is happiness on offer at the moment, Ten of Cups. So there's a transformation that you're going through. So one thing that I want to say is don't necessarily blame yourself for having done whatever it is that you're now feeling, or probably even then felt, yeah, I'm not, this is not great. Doing this is not great. But if I don't do this, the alternative is worse. And that was true. The alternative, whatever it was, because I don't see what the alternative was, but whatever it was, the alternative was worse. So you have done the right thing, or I really, actually, I want to say the right thing, because it leaves a little bit of a sour taste, not as a hugely strong sour taste, but enough that you don't really want to think about it and you don't really want to touch that because it's over now. And you're right, it is. It's over now, but there is transformation occurring around you, and you had to be pushed into this place. So, yeah, you may have taken some rash action, and you're feeling that, yes, because here we have Princess of Wands clarified by the Devil, so demon possessed tarot coming out in a minute, and Jidambo, which is about opening the gate. And I think the opening the gate was, well, basically it was between spirit world and the earth world, or spirit world and Waco Mundo. I can't remember. It's probably Waco Mundo. So yeah, so if it's Waco Mundo, then you've opened the gate to a situation where it's half truths and shadows and fictions, and it's like, oh, do I really? I mean, look at this Princess of Wands. She's quite blown about by the wind that's blowing around her. So there's like, yeah, I've got to carry on, and I know that what it is that I am doing, but what is happening right now is a transformation. So one, forgive yourself for whatever it was that has led you up to this point today. Just forgive yourself. However, there is danger. Malthus here is a Goetic spirit of wisdom, among other things. His form is the raven. He is the one who informs you of things. D.H. Thorne mentioned him on the live stream. This is also, we have the Lady of Shalott, who made a silly mistake. She was cursed that she would die if she looked out the window, and she saw Lancelot in her mirror that she had to use to look out to the outside world, and out of almost an instinct, she turned around and looked straight at him, thereby invoking the curse. Therefore, she got us in on a boat to see the outside world and slowly faded away on the boat. So, yes, there is a danger point going on. But do you know what? With that Eight of Wands, Ace of Wands, I'm feeling that that's actually quite a good thing. It's almost like this action that left a sour taste has really brought home to you what it is that you're wanting out of life, or what it is that you're wanting out of your job, or what it is that you're wanting out of the relationship, or whatever it is that your question is about, then it's left you with that, yeah, I'm not going there before. Because I've tried before, again, you've heard me rant on about how all time is one, haven't you? I get confused at points. Because previously there's been value that you've seen in an effort that you were trying to make. But I honestly feel that necessarily didn't quite work out the way that you would want it to. But having said that, it did have a good result on a relationship level, not so much a good result on a practical, this is what I set out to achieve, and did you achieve it? Nah, no, you didn't. But there was a nice relationship that came out of it, and a choice where it's like, do I stick with this idea, or do I go with whatever has been however the world is taking me, the current that I am riding? And you're coming to the point where you don't want to ride that current any longer because it's been causing you too much stress. Now you're coming into a time of far more mastery, far more analysis, but I rather think that you are needing to, how do I put this politely? You're really needing to delve into the excrement of the situation that you're in. You're needing to find things out now. Use a little bit of detective work and use your skills to suss it all out so that you can take control of the situation. And there we have the King of Wands, my favorite card. Not so much in this deck, but there's this whole thing has been a big learning moment for you. Oh, goody, another learning moment. Ain't that great? But it's really, I get the impression that carefully taking a stand right now, you know, whether that stand is no more or that stand is we have to change this, you have to change this quite urgently to start a new beginning. You're really going to have to marshal your forces, get support, talk to people who are in that situation or in similar situations, so that you can band together and, as a general group, say, "Yeah, not having this, not doing this," because that way lies mastery. The alchemist here, which is the magician. We have the emperor here, which is you. But it's also you taking charge. And then underlying that situation, we have the world. So that signifies completion. Ace of Pentacles again, so signifying the next new beginning. But it's almost like you're going back to this new beginning and starting it again in a way that is seen. The Ace of Pentacles here is like an award disc, you know, golden disc, golden record, golden whatever they were called. And then finally we have calling all captains, which shows that it's time to act, because you only call all captains in an emergency. And that you are requiring support, because you only call all captains if you need their firepower to be with you. And as I say, Malthus here and the Lady of Shalott are really, really implying that right now you have to tread carefully. Forgive yourself for whatever this questionable action, this action that doesn't sit right, wherever it was, it just, as you look back on it, that if you're so inclined, because I don't think you want to look back on it, but if you look back on it, it just doesn't quite sit right, doesn't feel quite what you want it to be, because we've got an emergency to deal with that puts the matter to rest. That it's very nearly complete, and you get to highlight the questionable nature of the action that you were forced to take by circumstance. Let's put it that way. And there's for you to say, no, never again. No, I'm not doing that no more. And other people are actually, there's a split. Some people want to come with you to this new way of doing things. Others are going, oh my God, what will we lose by suddenly being all ethical and all moral and all doing things the right way? But slowly and gently is the way forward. You know, it's time to take urgent action, yes. So you've got to move forward, but it's urgent that you start moving, but you don't move in an urgent fashion once you've started moving. It's test it out, test the water, make sure that you are taking into account those things that you know very well you are not aware of. So that means there's new information coming to you that you need to take into account. So hopes and fears. Yeah, it's almost like if we're constantly fighting this battle, what are we actually left with? You know, this harvest that we've managed to get from the first action, how much is it really worth if that's what we've got to do to gain it? There's a sorrow in this seven of Pentacles that is clarified by the Five of Swords, and then we have Izuru, who, if I remember correctly, Izuru was the Soul Reaper who was very bothered about how things looked. I might be wrong, but I think that's the one he was. But there is positive advice of how to find a better way forward. There's someone around you, or there's a group of you together. Now, I want to say that this group of you together, the Calling All Captains group, you think you know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing, and that conscious awareness that you don't know what you're doing is what will save you from doing bad things. You know, like more questionable actions, more things that bother you. I think that's the best way to say it. Now, excuse me, let's have a look at Isaac Newton. So he's a fellow yellow belly like me from the depths of Lincolnshire. And I'm not quite sure what he's saying about from the act of study. But this study, if you remember that Isaac Newton was a scientist and astrologer, you know, he, as were a lot of men of his time, you know, one foot in science, one foot in woo-woo, because this was still the point before science and woo-woo separated. You know, they were seen as the same thing. And spiritually, he urges you to step out of the cave and enter into social interaction, and also aids in turning conflicts with others into peaceful communication. So there's a dialogue that needs to be started here. So all these people that you are calling to your side, one or two of them may be ones that you may have inadvertently hurt by whatever this action is. Now, those are people you definitely want on your side, that you want to... You're going to say, how are they going to be on my side? That you want them to be a part of the dialogue of how do you precisely move forward. This is not you in isolation, this reading, by any way, shape or form, Aries. This is you and your colleagues or your family or a group of friends, or that there's plenty of people around here. And I think that you can use your Aries energy to give them a direction, but by giving them direction, you're not going that way. You're going, I'm looking for this, this, and this. I think it's that way. Who knows what about that way? Who can tell me what? And so you get this dialogue going on. So it may not be that way. It may be just a bit that way because someone gives you that extra piece of information. But whatever you were trying to accomplish, it looks like that is... Oh, now. Queen of Knight of Wands, Kisuke Uehara, Timely Retreat, Ten of Wands as the main card. There is a destination that you are going to reach, but there is some fight that you're going to have to give up on. And I think that's a good thing, because I think that fight that you're going to have to give up on is the fight that is here. You've already been in that fight, and I think it's time for you to leave it. That was quicker than I thought it would be. I don't envy you in a way, but in another way I do, because this is a wonderful opportunity to reevaluate pretty much everything. Okay, so as I said in the intro, like, share, subscribe. But even more importantly, if this means something to you, please, please, please do comment down below and let me know. Even if all you say is message received and understood, just so that I know that this is a reading that it finds its home, because that's the whole point of me doing these things. All right. Cheers.